So Ryan, what do you normally look to for inspiration when it comes to making an art piece?
Well, I get inspiration from almost anything or everything, as long as I'm in the mood, that is.
So, does that mean your inner emotions play a key role when it comes to making an art piece?
They do almost all the time, but not the subject.
How so?
Well, I can create an artwork,
Yeah.
right? But when I'm in the mood or whenever emotions play a role in the colors, in the technique, but the subject of the artwork, it can be anything I want.
When did you first become interested in the arts as a whole?
It was when I was about 10 years old. I was vacationing at my grandmother's house.
Mm-hmm.
I was all alone and isolated, so that's when I took a pen, paper, and started drawing.
So you were just sitting there one day at your grandmother's place, and you were like, "Hey, you know what? Let's go take some paper and some pens, and just start drawing."
Well, it was basically my dad's idea,
What do you mean?
but back then I didn't have many people to listen to anyway, so
Okay.
yeah.
So
So
then,
it wasn't actually choice. You
so
see?
so I'm gonna assume that your preferred medium is ink on paper, yeah?
Yeah, because that's the only thing I had access to in my chemistry class. So yeah,
Fooling around in chemistry class, I see.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, how do you put up with negative criticism, or rather, how do you tackle negative criticism?
How do I tackle?
Criticism, yes.
Okay. At first, it was difficult because arts was the only thing I was good at, or what I felt I was good at. So, whenever I got negative criticism or anything negative related to my artwork, right, I felt very insecure, I hated it, and I was quite defensive.
As any artist should be.
Yeah, we artists are sensitive people, you see.
True that, true that.
Yeah, yeah. But my sister had to talk with me one day. She sat me down. She told me that these are the people who are going to judge your work for the rest of your life, and you will have to take whatever they say, right? Whether it's good or bad, you will have to take it.
True.
So that's when I started to understand. That's when I basically started to understand. Yeah.
So, how was the art scene in Saudi Arabia? More specifically, Jeddah.
Well, I started my art endeavors in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, so I didn't really face any restrictions in the beginning. It's when I came to Malaysia that I took my art concept one step further.
Taking too much advantage, I see.
Yes. It's
So-
a free country, man. Democracy.
So, Ryan, from my understanding, you had your first gallery exhibition on the night of your 19th birthday.
That's right.
So, how was it?
Best birthday ever.
So, this has nothing to do with what I've asked you before,
Okay.
but I'm gonna ask you anyway, alright? So, and don't take offense to this when I ask you this, alright?
Okay, okay.
So, what the hell is up with you and Batman?
Alright, this
Seriously.
Batman, seriously, man.
Because I know you have about 4 or 5 pieces just all Batman related.
Yes. You see, Batman was the first superhero I ever came across.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still remember sitting in my friend Adil Akhtar's. Yeah, I was sitting in his house. I was watching this Batman cartoon movie. And at that time, it was like the videotape, right? We rewind that shit.
Yeah.
No,
VHS or something like that.
VHS, yeah.
Yeah.
We were watching that. It was. I still remember it was Batman and Bane on a ship, right?
Yeah.
And they were fighting on a bridge. No, on the ship, maybe the deck. Yeah, they were fighting on that. That was the most awesome cartoon I ever watched. Well, I have to say it was better than Tom and Jerry, though.
Better than Tom and Jerry. Yeah, I would say too. Yeah.
It's Batman.
I mean, I guess.
I always admired his tactical mind, right? Not everyone has that.
True. I mean, what's the use? What are the use of superpowers if you don't have smart thinking?
Yeah, and he teaches us that if you work on something, you can be good at it. You see, consistency. Only Batman is Batman is the only superhero who has it.
So I guess you can say he's, well, even though he's a fictional character, he's a big inspiration behind your art.
Yeah,
In a
take
way.
Superman for example. Give him red kryptonite, he turns badass. Right? He turns evil. Give him pink kryptonite, he turns gay.
So, do you plan on furthering your artistic endeavors in the future, or anything like that?
Well, Daniel, I didn't have any plans to come this far, anyways.
Okay. So, was your family always supportive of this, or did they have their apprehensions?
Well, I had a lot of support, surprising for an Indian family, right? And
Not to mention they were Muslim too.
they were Muslims. Yeah, I had surprisingly, I had a lot of support. And at first, it was my parents telling me, spend more time on your studies, right, and less time on yards. And they said I had to give up art like after my gap year was over. But eventually, when I started having exhibitions, gallery exhibitions, and slowly I worked my way up, right? So that's when they decided, you know what, I can continue. And they were, and I'm surprised that they were actually proud of it, or that's what they say.
Were you always interested in drawing, or as opposed to, I don't know, other artistic fields such as photography or writing or whatever, you know?
Well, I was interested in writing once upon a time,
yeah,
but I didn't really enjoy it as much as art. Writing was me thinking deep, deep, yeah, and about myself, and that kind of made me slip into depression every now and then.
Shit.
Yeah, your writing is all about yourself. You try to evaluate yourself, but art, it's just something else. You pick out the subject and bam.
Get back to position.
Oh, 1 minute. Frostbeard. We get paid to endorse that shit. I wish we got paid for something.
Word.